the side of the Human Rights Office. Please, Ravina.
We are deeply worried about the situation in Venezuela following the U.S. military operation over the weekend. It is clear that the operation undermined a fundamental principle of international law, that states must not threaten or use force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. The U.S. has justified its intervention on the grounds of the Venezuelan government's long-standing and appalling human rights record. But accountability for human rights violations cannot be achieved by unilateral military intervention in violation of international law. The people of Venezuela deserve accountability through a fair, victim-centered process.
Yeah, thank you, Ravina.
We fear that the current instability and further militarization in the country resulting from the U.S. intervention will only make the situation worse. The state of emergency declared by the Venezuelan authorities that took effect on Saturday raises concerns, as it authorizes restrictions on free movement of people, the seizure of property necessary for national defense, and the suspension of the right to assembly and to protest, among other measures. UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk calls on the US and the Venezuelan Authority, as well as the international community, to ensure full respect for international law, including human rights.
Okay, Nick.
Thank you. Ravina, he's in control, he's running the state, so they're not respecting it.
As the High Commissioner has said, this operation violates a fundamental principle of international law. It violates the UN Charter. This charter states that states must not threaten or use force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. And this is what we are seeing. Now, using human rights arguments as a justification for this kind of military intervention is unacceptable. The High Commissioner has said that, he said yesterday in an opinion piece that he had published, that a narrative is emerging that seeks to justify the U.S. military intervention as a response to the Maduro government's appalling human rights record. But far from being a victory for human rights, this military intervention, which is in contravention of Venezuelan sovereignty and the UN Charter, damages the architecture of international security, making every country less safe. And no amount of deception or distraction can alter these facts.
Of course, we will continue monitoring the situation and send you the information that we will issue.